Hey guys, good to be here. So we've got the match here of
Disable enable
11
rapid
players,
fire.
Mayu and Makarov.
Yeah, it's a
Disable
repeat of
enable
the
rapid
relay
fire.
from last week. These two people raced each other
Disable enable rapid
in
fire.
our MGT relay that we had last week. Both players played exceptionally well, and they both ended up beating their PBs. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's always a good game when you can say that both players PB.
Yep.
So
you can immediately see Makarov is using your trainer BMN to change his health bar. Doesn't actually have an effect on any of the gameplay, so it doesn't really matter. But it changes your life bar, what it says. He's referencing, "Will I get a 103?" That is Makarov's next goal for this game. He's matched 104 twice now in this game, and for a long time he said he wanted to get a 103, and I think he's gonna get it eventually. He's getting really close.
yeah, he just needs to put the run together really and just have no mistakes.
Yeah, what I noticed with VE is that you'll get to a certain point where you feel like you can't improve, and it's always that next minute mark that you want to get that just seems to be a barrier. But once you get there, you get them consistently. And for Makarov, it's 103 right now.
Stay away. So we've got right side for both.
Yep.
I've been with the unit.
Ideally, what you want in a race, no RNG, not an RNG mess with the loop. If you get left side, just consistent rides. The only thing you have to worry about is if she goes backwards, which she did for both players, so even Olga for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, the backwards is slightly slower than the left side, but you really don't want dealing with the RNG of left side, do you?
Yeah. Optimally, a left side Olga loop is faster, but what's faster for Olga always just ends up being a second or so. So you'd rather, in a race setting, just take the consistency over the optimal time save.
Yeah, absolutely. Because left side can go really bad, really fast.
All right, so now that both players are done with Olga, the only reason we go here is because the game wants you to get the USP. At this point, we can just progress through all the way to the holds to take photos of Metal Gear and then finally end the tanker chapter and go into plant. But before we go there, we have to pass some brooms. Have to go all the way to the bottom of the tanker, passing through engine room and then the deck 2 port. Most of this is pretty much standard until you get to engine room.
Yeah, I mean, in engine room, I know Makarov is probably going to be going for swag strat, and Mayu will be doing the old stuff.
Yeah.
So here's Makarov.
So if done correctly, Makarov will gain 1 second or so over Mayu over here, but it is a bit of a risky strat going for this. One day we'll see people do your version of swag strat, especially the new one that you came up with.
I hope not, to be honest. Gets a good Makarov.
Yeah, now the second test of engine room, not blowing up the tanker.
No problem for Makarov. Mayu having a bit of trouble.
Oh, she got the codec.
Didn't actually hit it.
Yeah, she positioned herself awkwardly that she had to lean, and as she tried to shoot, she just let go of L2 at the same time, so she shot the wall.
Oh, good thing the codec was there.
Oh, Makarov got the alert and missed the guard, so he ended up getting kicked. This is going to be awkward now because he didn't shoot that guard behind him. Opening the door here can be a bit awkward.
Yeah, I get that quite a lot on V6 1.8. Like, there's certain things that seem harder, and this is one of them.
Huh.
So, I mean, both Makarov and Mayu are quite shaky when it comes to guard rush, so they might be a bit of a change here.
Oh, Makarov didn't get the guard in the back, I think, did he? No, he didn't. What about Mayu?
Mayu missed the one at the back.
Oh, that guard didn't die. Oh no, he did. Okay. Sometimes guards in this game, if you shoot their legs and they fall down, they don't necessarily die, so it can be a bit awkward.
Yeah, if you hit both legs.
Yeah. But I think overall, Mayu might have had a slightly better guard rush over Makarov.
Yeah, so I would say so.
All right, the holds where leads can easily change.
And Makarov's fine. Now for Mayu. Slightly iffy on that ladder glitch. Now for projector guard, that's also fine. Makarov no problem in hold 2, and he's set up for a menu trick.
Both players went for traditional hold 2, where you just hold up 2 guards and then go to the left side. A lot safer, slightly slower, but a lot safer than any other variation that we have. Makarov had a bit of trouble with that 2 spot. I hope that works. Mayu's going to go for the safer 3 spot. If Makarov messes up, this is going to be huge time loss for him.
Yeah, Mayu looks like she's doing fine on the 3 spot.
Alright, he got it. I think he took an extra photo because he wasn't sure, but it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, if you're not sure, you take that photo before you go to the computer, definitely.
I've had a run before where I went... I took a very shaky 2 spot and took the risk. I ended up not getting it, so when I went back and took it and tried to complete Tanker, I look at my splits and it's like plus 30 something.
Yeah, it really is horrible.
So we're done with Tanker now. Pretty much from now till for the next like 30-40 minutes or so, we're just going to be in the big shell.
Ooh, seam crouch.
Yeah, card peeling in this game when you're changing camera angles or passing through doors or stuff like that, there's usually like one frame or one set of frames where the game doesn't want you to cartwheel, and what ends up happening is the game just like says you're not cartwheeling, you're gonna crouch. It's just unfortunate, like 2 or 3 second time loss. There's a few areas in this game where that can happen.
Yeah, and it's a heartbreaker when it happens.
Yep. You just feel every like second of it.
You are not getting that time back. So Makarov is going to be going for the M9. Mayu takes a lot of cues from Apache, who she sort of learned the run from, and Apache really likes to just hide from the guards behind the forklift. So we're going to be seeing that from Mayu as well.
Yeah, ultimately this doesn't really matter since you're just waiting for the elevator, but I remember it was you that popularized this M9 pickup strat, and then we all just picked it up for no reason.
Yeah, it's sort of like you need to do something.
Yeah.
unless you're Mayu.
And then I think Limes was the one who just extended it by like going for the extra M9 ammo as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, we're not expecting Makarov or Mayu to be going for the M9 Fat Man, so it really doesn't matter about picking up the extra ammo.
Well, I think Makarov, I don't know if he's confident in the last few races, but Makarov has messed with it in the past, and he's done it a couple of times in the league, so he might consider it.
Yeah, originally when he picked it up, he really liked it, and then I think he messed it up once or twice, and then Plywood came up with his lethal strategy, and Makarov sort of picked that up, and that's what he's been doing.
Yeah,
pretty much since then.
The same thing happened with me. Like I was a big supporter of using the M9 strat because it's like 3 seconds, and if you're aiming for high times, 3 seconds is nice to have. But I noticed over the past month or so, I just kept messing it up, so I just left it. I was like, I don't want the headache of it. I'll just go for lethal.
Yeah, Makarov with quite a late unequip on the M9 for the menu trick. Mayu getting it done a bit earlier, but they're both set up. for that 0.3 seconds of time save.
Something recently that runners have started to do is we used to cartwheel through this codec for rows, and I think, yeah, you're going to see Mayu do it as well. It's just easier, cartwheel and then answer the codec while you're cartwheeling so you don't lose momentum. But I believe it's faster if you just answer the codec on the first frame, and then you do like a half cartwheel into the load zone instead.
It absolutely is, and it's actually really easy as well.
Enable a rapid
Yeah.
fire.
It's similar to, I think you mentioned this, it's similar to the codec call we answer on EF before picking up the Claymore. You just need to learn the cue. And it's better to play it a little bit safer with that codec than answer it too early.
Yeah, definitely.
So I believe both players are going to go for traditional bombs.
Yeah, I would expect so.
If anyone was going to go for
I don't like that cartwheel.
that did feel awkward. If anyone was going to go for conveyor belt, it was probably going to be Makarov, because he likes to experiment with the weird and unorthodox strats in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing we're going to see in this race is that Makarov is kind of an optimization fiend, and he's a strat fiend. He likes doing the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, he goes a bit too hard and loses some consistency and does some slightly dumb things that lose a bit of time. But on the other hand, you know, like I say, Mayu's taken a lot of cues from Apache, who was quite a conservative player, and Mayu is like almost more conservative than that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a question of can Mayu sort of keep up the pace while being more conservative, while Makarov might be slightly less consistent.
Yeah, it's one of those things, especially when it comes to this game, and I guess speedrunning in general. Once you start getting relatively decent times, you start to want to adopt the harder strats rather than optimizing the currently known strats that you're doing. What ends up happening is, yes, you'll save a few seconds on the harder strats, but because you never optimized the strats you're already doing, you end up losing time there.
Yeah, and your consistency goes down the drain as well.
It's one of those things like when runners pick up this game, they immediately want to start doing ladder glitch and swim glitch and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you notice like halfway through the run, they lose like 10 seconds in some random room for not doing the correct strat. It's like, what's the point of ladder glitch then?
Yeah, I mean, you start with consistency, and then once you have the consistency down, that's when you really start to think about optimizing.
Yeah.
But Makarov, he's, like I say, he's one of those guys who loves his hard strats. but he's getting the consistency down now.
Yeah.
You know, he was quite bad at it early on, but his consistency has gotten much better.
Yeah, I think one of the rooms here is EF. I'm interested in what strat he goes for.
Yeah, I think he's going for the hard one.
Nice.
Yeah. Very well done.
Enable a rapid fire.
So I believe Mayu is going to go around Claymore instead. So Makarov will save time in this room and then coming back towards Fatman as well.
Enable a rapid fire.
Yep.
Disable a rapid fire.
So Mayu will eventually pick up that Claymore afterwards, just because it gives a better line, and that Claymore is probably in a really awkward position anyways.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to pick that Claymore coming from the south, so it's not that much of a big deal really. Really, the issue is in the detour going south. But they've been going very well so far. They've both been fairly optimized. No real mistakes to speak of so far.
Yeah, it's been a clean bomb disposal from both players.
Although we're going with the strut A.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that strut A is one room that gets really awkward.
Yeah, Makarov looks fine.
Mayu got shot on the EF. She tried to FA. She tried to trank the guard, but I think it just missed, and she ended up bumping into the guard.
Yeah, Makarov sort of made up for it with the missed coolant rise. It's probably about the same time loss.
So Mayu went for
Mayu
a safer setup for that bomb. It's one that Apache likes to do. As soon as you like coolant rise from there,
Disable a
you
rapid
go up,
fire.
then back down so that you can stick to the pipe, and it puts you in the perfect position for the bomb. Because you
Yeah, it's a
can
lot
be
more
off position from that. It's not exactly a free setup. Something else I noticed just now is that Makarov's actually playing on New Game Plus Plus, so he gets the
Disable a rapid
sunglasses.
fire.
On VE, it doesn't actually matter
Enable a
if it's
rapid
New Game
fire.
Plus or New Game Plus Plus, but you get the sunglasses for the flare.
Yeah, the only difference is in Strut D with the extra bombs on hard.
Yeah.
Disable a rapid fire.
So it really just comes down to whether you like the rear bands or not.
I think who else likes it? The other Mac McD, he also likes the sunglasses.
Yeah, absolutely. So no problems with Makarov there. You won't have to take care of that guard on the way back.
Enable a rapid fire.
We've mentioned this before many times in the league, but now we go for the Strut C bomb first before picking up the Sensor B. This was found in the previous VE tournament back in May, I believe. It's 1 second faster to pick up the bomb to defuse the bomb first, then pick up Sensor B.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of say that King of the Bees found it, but it's more along the lines of he did it and then D-lines
Exactly.
and did the timing on it. I'm not sure Bees really knew what he was
Disable a
doing,
rapid fire.
but it just worked out that way. And now everyone's doing it because it is just that 0.7, 0.8 faster.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we really like when new runners come and play this game, because sometimes they'll do things that they don't realize, but it ends up actually being faster, or it gives one of the top runners an idea for a possibly faster strat. I think when Mayu submitted her first run, we were still experimenting with the frame 1 out of the water strat, and then I think I was verifying a run, and I noticed she had one that was not just like frame 1; it was even faster than that. It was like almost on the same frame that she was out of the water. Fastest frame 1 that I ever saw. We even called the frame 0, like Apache mentioned.
The new blood is just so important because we definitely get stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say on this trip back to Strut A, I would say that probably about even. Makarov had the slightly bad Strut B where he cartwheeled a little too early, and Mayu made up a little bit of Makarov getting stuck in the door there.
It's happened a few times in this run where he's like cartwheeled into walls. Oh, that is too close to the water. That looks scary.
Oh, he needs to be careful. He needs to go to the right, or there's a big chance he's going in the water.
That was scary. I still remember one of my old PBs had that, and it just hurt when you lose 5 seconds. If you're too close to that water when you defuse the bomb, as soon as you unequip the coolant, Raiden will jump into the water, and it takes 5 seconds for you to get back out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's just the act of equipping if you're looking in the wrong direction too close. And Mayu getting out fine. I believe that Makarov goes for Tino's strategy for Fortune.
Yeah, and I really don't understand what's happening. Instead of going right, he goes left. Well, I think he's actually going for the other one.
Huh. Oh no, he seems to be doing it normally.
I think he got shot once, but that should be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Mayu's going to go for a similar strat, or she might be going for the old traditional one. I believe she'll go for the newer one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, Fortune talked for Makarov, so that's a few seconds of time loss.
Yeah, you have to be so careful on that right barrel before this elevator cutscene, because if you move even slightly to the left after that right barrel explodes, she will be talking to you, and that's 3-4 seconds time loss.
It's such a weird fight because on paper it just feels like an auto scroller where you just need to survive, but we've developed ways where we can advance the fight. So you see like runners are like lining up at specific positions, waiting for certain moments to continue on. That's just for Fortune to progress through the fight faster than usual. If you slightly alter anything, that could just mess up the timing and you lose time.
Yeah, about the worst thing you can do is to start off by going for the left barrel, because for some reason, you know, Fortune just takes absolutely ages and you lose 20 seconds just like that.
Yeah.
Makarov again with the cartwheel into the door.
I think he's going for those risky ones where like the door slightly opens and then you cartwheel through, which is a bit faster, but the timing is a little precise with that. Mayu got blown up. I think she was going for Chaffless anyways, but she might have just went too right a little bit. I did see Makarov pick up the chaffs though, so we know one person's going for chaff at least.
Yeah, I wasn't actually looking, but I believe that Mayu goes for the early chaffs.
Oh yeah, she did. She did pick up the BC one. I remember now. Yeah, she did. Which is safer because you can just play the Shred A roof chaff pickup safer by just ignoring it.
Yeah, but it doesn't help if you get blown up anyway, does it?
So here's a room where Mayu has to pick up the Claymore now. So Makarov got an advantage over Mayu here earlier.
Yeah. The thing is, in Strut E and also on the helipad, there's an opportunity for both of these players, since they haven't equipped anything, to do what we're calling the stair glide. I like to call it the Dav Wild Stairs.
The Dav Wild Stairs. The Dav Stairs.
Well, nice fast bomb, I believe, from Makarov in the middle. Plywood strat, as expected. Getting it pretty well. Moves quite close, which is slightly slower, but that seems pretty good.
That's not that bad. He was standing right next to the bomb, but he did get a slow bomb for the second one.
Yeah, Mayu got the fast bomb.
Oh, that's an awkward position. That's too early. Oh, that's going to put Fatman in an awkward position.
That's not going to be good. He may well get away. And he's getting up. So Mayu's going to have to get 2 shots. That's actually quite fortunate.
Wow, he stopped like right next to him.
Come on.
So it's still it's still a 2-cycle Fatman, so it wasn't that bad, yeah.
Which she still lost about 10 seconds. I would say Makarov probably lost about 4 seconds. So I think Makarov came out better from that one.
All right. Makarov's about to go into the infamous EF bridges, and this is where Limes is going to start scolding me in chat. I believe both players are going to use D-pad for EF as they should, but I'm still a supporter that analog is frames faster. Because you don't bump into 17 different walls.
D-pad for Makarov. I thought something quite interesting. So it's at this point in the game that the hostage pattern for aims is decided. You can have like 2 different variable patterns. You can have an old lady spawn and you can have an old Jennifer spawn. But interestingly enough, I believe that Makarov is currently going to get the Jennifer spawn, which I believe is the hardest spawn in terms of recognizing aims. And Mayu, I believe, is going to get the old lady spawn, which I think is the easiest one.
Yeah, it is based on time zones. They're roughly... Mayu's in the same time zone as both of us. I think Makarov's like an hour ahead.
2 hours, I think.
Yeah, maybe 2 hours, yeah.
Makarov going for Claymore shot. Ooh, that was fairly close.
I'm surprised you think that the Jennifer spawn is harder. I think that the old man spawn is the hardest. He looks exactly like Ames, except he's bald.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. But
I don't know.
Jennifer Tackler is so close.
Yeah, I guess Jennifer, yeah.
And no problems for Makarov.
Enable a rapid fire.
On the Claymore strat, Mayu will also be
Disable a
going
rapid
for
fire.
that strategy.
Yeah, it's the Claymore strat. Oh, he's doing my setup for this. With the guard pickup,
Enable a
very
rapid
nicely
fire.
done. Just saving
Yeah,
frames.
I like your setup.
Yeah, it's pretty
I-
easy. You just stick to the wall, the leftmost part of the wall. 2 punches, turn left, then punch again, and you're in the perfect position.
Yeah, I tried it once and it was nice and easy, and then I just went straight back to.
Oh, I think he got a near god aims. He's pause buffering, but I think he got a near god aims. Yep.
Your aims.
That was pretty fortunate.
Your aims.
Disable
Unfortunate for
enable a
Mayu.
rapid fire.
Oh, he missed the aims call, but he got on second attempt. But that's still a really good aim spawn. Mayu's going to go for a traditional setup for this guard. A lot easier to learn.
It's only a tenth or two slower.
It's
And a
nothing
lot
massive.
easier.
But like this aim spawn is going to be really hard on Mayu because even if she gets best possible aims, at best she's even with Makarov for this room. She got the Jennifer one, yeah, or the old lady
Disable
one.
a rapid fire.
All right,
Oh,
Southwest. That is not the best. It's not the worst as well, but it's like somewhere in between.
yeah, I'd say she's lost about 5-6 seconds. A matter of.
Enable a rapid fire.
It's just the gap is just slowly widening and widening and widening.
I believe
Makarov will
Makarov.
probably. Yeah. Don't know. Did it well.
I think he's gonna go for the one in Strut E as well, where you cartwheel into the load zone. Oh my god, Maya got kicked. Ugh. She needs to kill this guard really quick. Oh, that's actually clever. Don't kill the guard so you don't get the alert.
That's very, very good thinking there, because if she had shot him, then she's in big trouble with an alert.
Yeah. Nice use of backups, nice use of awareness, knowing what you can and can't do in that room.
Yeah, you like in this game, you need to know your backups because you're going to lose so much time if something really goes wrong.
Yeah, a few people have
I
mentioned
really
this,
like-
but the timer is currently
Disable
broken
rapid
on
fire.
the stream. That's just a technical issue we're having right now. This is an IGT run regardless, so it doesn't really matter. We will be going to score screen at the end.
I have an unknown target here.
Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, that's fine. I
Enable
have to say,
rapid fire.
Makarov is still going for the risky strat.
Yeah, I noticed.
On going through doors, and he's getting half of them, but the other half are like going wrong, and I think he's probably minus overall on these door strats.
He got the DE connecting bridge one, but he messed up, I think, the Strut E one.
Yeah, he was too early. And had to run through it.
Oh. I think for a moment he thought he would go for the risky cipher there and then just paused. It's like, nope, I'm not risking that. But decent ciphers, decent Semtex overall.
Yeah, that's fine. He didn't equip the chaff grenade, so his menuing is going to be a bit more involved.
Disable a
slower.
rapid fire.
You know, he's had to equip about 4.
Is that should be 5.
That
Yep.
looks good. Yeah.
High damage 5. That looks like a late +1, but I think it's still gonna land. Yep.
Good,
So other than die shots, this should be a perfect 5+1 for Makarov.
You keep an eye on that. I'll look at my.
Enable a rapid fire.
There you go. Perfect 5+1 for Makarov. Mayu's in her sensors right now, and she's doing it pretty well. Mayu traditionally has gone for the newer 2-shot method. It's a lot easier to learn for newer players,
Disable a
and
rapid
if
fire.
executed well, it's equivalent to what Makarov pulled off, a 5+1 Harrier.
Yeah, I don't think Mayu gets the perfect one
Enable a rapid
that
fire.
much, which is a bit unfortunate, but at the same time, you only lose probably about 8 or so seconds.
Yeah. So there she got
Uh,
2 shots instead of
30.
2.5 shots.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
believe
I
other
really
runners as well go for it. Plywood is a big fan of this.
Yeah, Plywood has a setup in order to
Disable
get the
rapid fire.
half damage shot in order to get
Yeah.
the 2.5.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, that is really bad. She's not gonna get the die shots kill.
So she should get both die shots here.
Yeah, she will probably get it on this pass.
Enable a rapid fire.
Nobody's looking, right?
Disable a rapid fire.
Just as the missiles hit right in.
Yeah. But again, bad menus for the next section. So she's going to have quite a long menu to the grenade. Whereas ideally, what you want to do is before the Harrier, you want to have your chaff grenade equipped, and then also equipped to the chaff grenade before you equip the Stinger, and that gives you a quick equip rather than having to do this really long menu in each case.
So Makarov's into the Shell 2 core, going to pick up the Nikita. Mayu's on the perimeter now. The perimeter can be kind of risky because you're basically playing parkour for these next two rooms. Some really tricky lines. You have to go against walls that have no floors on them. It's just a really awkward room. You can see both players use the chaff grenade strat here. Taking an alert on the perimeter really early here brings a cipher while you're passing through the perimeter on the wall here. If the cipher shoots you, Raiden just falls down and it's an instant alert. It's an instant game over. So that's why we pick up the chaffs earlier just for this room.
Yeah, Makarov having a little bit of trouble with his right stick. Very finicky to get the spin around in the water.
Yeah, I know some players have abandoned it. I think Limes prefers just to swim around in a circle rather than go for.
I much prefer that.
Oh really?
Makarov tried the drinks machine strat from Plywood. Didn't quite work. Didn't quite have the angle.
What are you doing?
Successfully didn't blow up the president.
Yeah, obligatory joke about how it takes 2 shots on the president to kill the president on VE. Nice fast elevator from Mayu.
Well, she needs this sort of thing. To be
It's a
completely
nice,
honest,
nice 2-second time save. Fast elevators in this game are very rare. It's just pure RNG whether or not you get it. And that's the reason we actually go for the Claymore strats earlier in Shell 1. It just eliminates the RNG. It's a little bit slower than an ideal fast elevator, but I think most runners would just rather prefer the consistency over that RNG.
Yeah, it just happens so rarely.
And we mentioned frame ones earlier. Mayu just got one out of the water. I can't remember if Makarov did as well. But once we start getting into the swimming sections, we're going to be seeing it more often. All right, Makarov's done with the president. So do you think he's going to go for swim glitch? I think he's on decent pace, and I think he knows that he's on decent pace.
I think Makarov's going to go for swim glitch. Like, he likes it right now.
Yeah. So swim glitch can easily put this, I don't want to say beyond Mayu's reach, but a bad swim glitch can easily just bring her back into the race now.
Yeah,
so it's always a risk at this pace to go for swim glitch.
Yeah, here we go. Makarov has quite a rushed setup for this. Yeah. I think it doesn't set him up very well.
Yeah, I usually go against that wall like most runners, just to get that initial height. That's a really good 2 swim glitch, a 2 cycle, considering he started off really low.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be about a 10-second time save.
Yeah. He's having trouble swimming here around. Oh, he surfaced to
Oh, no. And it's quite hard to get back. Oh, he handled that quite well.
Yeah.
Disable after rapid that. Fire.
Because you move a long way in the water.
Rapid fire.
And he went for the riskier Vamp 1 where you just stand in your position instead of going closer. So decent few rooms for Makarov. Definitely furthered his lead in this race.
Yeah, Makarov's kind of just turning the screw.
Speaking of risks, he went for both AK ammo packs. You only need one of them. Technically, you don't need any of them, but one of them's what you should go for. I guess he knows his pace that he didn't really care about losing half a second picking up that extra ammo pack.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose a lot more time if you don't have that ammo when you...
Especially if he ends up getting a phantom radio call later on in Shell 2.
Yeah, Mayu not going for swim glitch. I don't think she's ever gone for swim glitch in this in the league so far. So that's not really unexpected.
I know she's messed with it. I think she's mentioned it before, but I think you're right. I don't think she's ever gone for it in VE League.
Yeah,
it's one of those that it's really hard to. It's when you first do it, you might think it's a little easy because it's just 2 button presses, but pulling it off correctly in a run setting, in a race setting, is really difficult. Especially when you know you're behind, pressure can get to you.
Yeah, messing with it and doing it is, are 2 entirely different things. And even learning it is quite tough. I mean, it took me probably about an hour to do it the first time.
Yeah, it is a bit awkward. Mayu's going for the Turbo Vamp 1 setup. If you line up yourself correctly for that for Vamp 1, and you just hold down square with the turbo, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it perfectly. But you also need to pick up the extra ammo pack during Harrier before the fight ends. So if you ever plan for going for Turbo Vamp 1, just keep that in mind.
I think you need 13, is it?
I think it's like anywhere between 11 and 12.
Well, whatever it is, you don't have it after Harrier if you don't pick the if you don't pick the ammo up.
Because I think a perfect 5+1 or a perfect whatever 2+6, whatever that setup is called, gives you enough for Vamp 1 traditionally, but not enough to go for Turbo Vamp 1.
Enable a rapid fire.
So Makarov gave up about 8 seconds having to open the hatch. So Mayu's a little bit closer, but overall I would say that Makarov's made another 10 seconds at least. Now I believe both Makarov and Mayu take this area quite safe. I know that Makarov shoots 2 guards in here, and I think Mayu actually shoots all 3 of them.
I think both of them shoot the final guard, because that one can be a little bit weird to get around if your lines aren't correct.
Yeah, your movement needs to be really on point for that last guy. So if you're not confident, then you just take the slight time hit and make sure you don't get seen. Oh no!
That scared me. He had like square movement there. I thought the guard was going to spot him, but got away just in time. Got a weird hand on Emma there after the bump. You can actually get a fast hand there if you bump into Emma first. You go where the door is, the line at the door, and then grab Emma from there. Mayu has gotten pretty much every frame 1. I think one of them she didn't get, but almost every one she did. So she's definitely spent the time to learn that setup. It's a nice half a second, 1 second time save for each one. And considering there's like 5 or so swimming sections in this game, it's always nice to learn.
Makarov taking no risks with that fire. Making sure it's definitely out. He actually had trouble with that in the relay race against Mayu. He lost about 10 seconds.
Disable a rapid fire.
Actually got set on fire.
Yeah, I do remember that. He did mention it prior to the race as well when we were talking to him. I guess that's just in his mind now. Just play it safe, lose 1 extra second, get rid of the fire.
Yeah, it's worth it. Better to do that than lose 10 or more seconds.
Enable a rapid fire. Disable a rapid fire.
There's a little trick you can do where
Enable
Mayu
a rapid
is,
fire.
which is that if you go further to the south before shooting the guard, you can get the quick hand, the quick
Oh,
grab
really?
on Emma afterwards.
The second card? The third card, you mean?
The one at the south.
Oh, the second one, yeah.
Disable a rapid fire.
And Mayu
So-
going simple on that and grab.
Yeah. So Makarov's at the sniping section. We mentioned earlier, Fortune isn't really an auto-scroller, but this part is 1000% an auto-scroller. There's nothing you can do to speed up this section. Your pace is entirely based on how fast, not how fast, well, how many times Emma is not interrupted, ideally 0. It's about a 5-minute section, I believe. You can only lose time here with
Enable a rapid
bad
fire.
menus, messing up this codec here with Pliskin, having Emma fall
Disable a rapid
down,
fire.
having Emma get spotted by a guard or a cipher. So you just want to play it as safe as possible in this room. There's nothing to be gained, just everything to be lost. And Mayu is about to start the same section that Makarov's in.
Yeah, Mayu going for the choke strat, which I believe Makarov did as well. I
Yeah.
really don't like the choke strat. It's about the same speed as just leading her through.
Yeah.
But you can save about half a second by going through the door and grabbing her through the door. which
I do
think is
remember
actually
you
quite-
timing
quite
this.
easy.
You actually made a video where like you looked at each type of each setup to getting Emma through the room. I remember when I first started off running this game, I used to do the choke strat as well. Because if you try to grab Emma around the door and you take a really sharp left around the door, Emma will just drop your hand.
Yeah, that actually taking her entirely through the door is actually quite difficult
Yeah.
to do well. So I can see why people would do the choke strat, because it's quite easy to get her through the door, but you know, there are better options.
Enable a rapid fire.
You can see both players are standing in the same position. I mentioned earlier that if Emma falls down, you lose time. I think you lose approximately 7 seconds or so. The setup that we have is you basically stand where the thermal goggles was at the beginning of this section, and that's the only area where you should be equipping the PSG1 to prevent Emma from falling. Another thing you should be doing is not zooming in at all. That can influence Emma and have her fall down as well. He's drawing a smiley face here. A lot of runners have started
Enable a
to
rapid fire.
show their creative side here by drawing on the wall using the PSG1.
I suppose that's one way to describe it. Really, the problem with the drawing with, oh god,
Disable a rapid fire.
so the problem with drawing with the PSG1 is that if you shoot too many bullets, then the bullet holes start to disappear.
Yeah, the earliest ones will disappear.
So you know, if you've created your magnum opus and it just disappears.
Since we're talking about Joe here on Mayu's screen, he will be racing later tonight against the current first place D-Line 13. I believe before that we're gonna have a rematch of the exhibition match that we had, I believe last week, between Apache Smash and MacMcD. So this is only the first run of the night. We still have more to go. This is week 9. We have a few more weeks remaining. So the league is almost somewhat decided, but the final positions are still up for grabs, especially the playoff positions. They're not all decided yet. If you've missed anything from the VE League, we've archived all the races starting from the beginning back in October in week 1. You can find it all on the MGSR YouTube channel. I believe if you type in !YouTube, you might find it. Hopefully a mod can help me out. Or if you just scroll down from the stream, you'll find all the social media links, including the YouTube link down there.
Yeah, I can see Makarov tapping left, practicing for Vamp 2.
Oh.
Here we go.
Kind of an awkward one, but it's fine.
In the relay race against Mayu last week, he struggled massively and he nearly actually killed Emma. So this is
I remember
big improvement.
Yeah, technically speaking, you can headshot Vamp 2 and get a one-shot kill, but that's very precise. What's easier to do, and most likely going to save you time, because there's a very easy setup for it, is just tapping left ever so slightly. Some players use their analog or D-pad, other players use their keyboard, just to get the slightest left input, and then just mashing square as fast as possible.
And that's going to be Makarov into the end game, no problem. Nice cartwheel. A fairly precise cartwheel at that.
Yeah.
And Mayu's about to get into Vamp 2. No practice for her.
It's been a while, hasn't it, Jack the Ripper? You know this fellow? You remember me, don't you? You've grown.
Yeah, just playing it a little bit safer. If you don't trust the fast left input thing, it's just easier to zoom in.
Yeah, it's nice and reliable. It's slightly slower, maybe a second slower.
Yeah. You mentioned the stair glide thing earlier. I don't know if Makarov went for it, but this is one of those rooms where you can go for it. And there's 2 long sets of stairs here where it might be worth it. I don't know if Mayu's going to go for it. Didn't look like it, though.
It's kind of hard to see on this set of stairs.
Yeah, the angle's a bit weird.
There are certain sets of stairs where it works really well.
Yeah, I think the one you mentioned earlier, the EF connecting bridge one, the really long one, since that one's pretty close to the camera and it's on an angle on the side, you can actually see it really well.
Are you playing it safe on the cartwheel? Not that much slower, really.
Fire.
So let's see Makarov's judging him.
I imagine he's going to go for the risky one, where you get through the guard and go through the gap.
Disable a rapid fire.
Yeah, definitely. I think the more interesting question is what's Mayu?
Oh, we got an alert. This can be awkward, but he did get through the gap. That's the most important part. He will get shot at least one time. Yep. Oh, that's risky. You should never cartwheel through a guard in an alert phase like that.
Yeah, he did that against Mayu last week as well and got hit the same way.
Yeah.
You should really just run up to that guy, give him a slap, and then just be on your way. The cartwheel is really not worth it, that situation.
So here's another kind of an auto-scroller along with a card that's coming up. You just need to stand not too north of this room and just answer the codex as they come in. There's 5 total codex to answer before the rose call comes in. And then right after that, there's another auto-scroller that we need to sit through. You need to swipe the blade at least one time, and then don't stand too south of this room. I believe your setup for that is just swipe once and then just stand there, which is terrifying.
Yeah, the thing is, where you start is literally the furthest south that you can be. So if
Yeah.
you move like even like a sub-pixel south of there, then it's going to be too far. So the slash is fine, but the stab actually moves you a little bit forward. So you can't do that.
Disable a rapid fire.
Okay, Mayu's judged him. I think she's gonna go safe. Play it left. Yep.
Yeah, I would expect so. Yeah.
If you're struggling with Jejnum, this is the strat that you should be doing. That guard is a bit tricky to get around if your movement's not
Enable a rapid fire.
good enough for this room.
Yeah.
If he spots you too early, he can kick you and punch you, and then you're gonna just have a hard time getting through that gap.
Yeah, I mean that's the Apache influence again. You know, going slightly conservative. It's about 4 seconds, I think.
Disable a rapid fire.
Something like that, yeah.
Makarov in Tengu's one, dealing with it quite well. Slightly suboptimal
Enable
movement.
rapid fire.
Gets through the door.
Good. No problem.
And then I believe for Tengu 2, he's going to go for the Passwick setup. So for Tengu 1, you'll notice in every run, we just skip the fight. In this game, there's a glitch where if you put your back against the door and do a PPK combo, Raiden's leg extends back through the door and hits the load zone. It works on certain doors, not all of them, depending on if there's a load zone behind it and where that load zone trigger is positioned. Luckily for us, the load zone trigger is placed just close enough that we can just do the glitch and skip this entire fight. I believe on VE, it's probably, I messed with this a while ago, it was like 40 or 50 seconds long fight if you do it normally. And on harder difficulties like Extreme and Euro, it's just minutes long. So getting through this fight in like 10 seconds or so or whatever, it's just a nice time save. Unfortunately for Tengu 2, we don't really we have a skip, a couple of skips actually. But on very easy, it's actually just faster to fight the fight normally. We just use a stinger and just shoot from wherever they spawn.
Yeah, for both Tengu 1 and Tengu 2, on very easy it's 48. Tengu's defeated in order to finish it, or or glitch through the door. But 48 isn't that much really. Mayu got shot, but gets through okay. Yeah, that's a strat that Mayu sort of pioneered herself, where you don't shoot that guard that comes in from the right.
Yeah.
And it usually works quite well, but she was a little bit on the slow side and got shot.
I guess since I was mentioning Tengu 2, where you just stinger where the guards spawn in, we used to do it from our initial spawn position because that just seemed the most obvious way to do it. And then earlier this year, it's a bit awkward.
Mayu getting bad luck there.
Yeah, earlier this year, Beswick found a different setup for this, where if you stand where Mayu stand right now, the guards are less likely to jump down directly and are more likely to just move right or left first before jumping down. It makes it easier just to hit them.
This is horrible luck for Mayu though.
Oh yeah.
Those guards have just been so scared to come out the door.
Yeah, that can happen. It's kind of weird. They just don't want to come out sometimes. Makarov just finished raise. VE, just 3 raise. And open mouth shots on this difficulty is an instant kill for the raise. The setup we have for it is shoot the front one, shoot the left one, and then wait for the right one to jump in and then shoot him. That's what Makarov went for, and Mayu's most likely going to go for the same one as well. There is technically a faster way to do it, but it's a lot riskier, where you go, instead of going middle, left, right, you go middle, right, left. But that is so unbelievably precise that you're off by a quarter of a second, even less than that, and it's not working. You're losing time.
Yeah, I tried it a few times and I can't do it.
It's
but
so it's
Mayu Mayu entered this Solidus monologue about the same time that Makarov defeated the race, so the gap is probably about 95 seconds now.
Yeah. Makarov's done with the torture. He's down to the final part of the game, just defeating Solidus.
Yeah, Makarov generally doesn't have too much trouble with Solidus, so
Disable a rapid fire.
Be fairly straightforward.
Let's go.
Looks like clean race for Mayu. Makarov's having a decent Solidus fight so far. Pretty much a perfect phase 1. Oh, almost. Oh, he switched to the non-lethal blade. Oh, that was smart of him to stab. If you stab using the non-lethal blade, it does count as lethal damage.
Yeah, but he needs to get back onto lethal now.
Yeah. That was weird though. I don't know what made him press square there.
It's not really a button you really go near.
Alright, he switched.
Maybe
Oh, that's very rare that you get that attack on VE. That's something you'd usually see on Euro.
Yeah, you're ready for it on Euro, but you're not really ready to see it on VE since it's that rare.
Ooh, a bit of a shaky phase 2, but he's done with the game. We're done with the fight, so it's a 56-11 for Makarov. GG to him.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I think that thing with the non-lethal got him a little bit shook up.
I wonder if he thought he was on PB pace. That just made him feel shaky for the fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, when Solidus was charging towards him, he was running, and that very high chance of getting hit if you're actually running. But a very good run from Makarov though.
Yep. So Mayu's down to Solidus now. It's gonna be pretty much the same fight. You swipe Solidus 3 times. 3 sets of that as well for phase 1. You run away as far away as possible from him because Solidus likes to play on phase 1, and then in phase 2, when he gets rid of his octo arms or whatever you call them, he plays more offensive. So you have to actually block his attacks first and then play on the counter.
Yeah, there's a few ways to deal with it, but I mean, Makarov went for the blocks, and I think Mayu will also go for the blocks. Ooh, Mayu not moving forward on the block. That's
GG's to both of them. So,
Remember this place?
this is most likely going to be a Makarov win.
I remember now.
If the RTA timers are correct, we did have some issues with it early on. This could be a PB, not just for Makarov, but for Mayu as well.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just comparing it to the timer from the relay race that they had last week. So yeah, this is most likely going to be a PB for both players. This is an IGT race as well, so we're gonna have to sit through these score screens until we figure out what the actual IGT is.
That's half the fun, isn't it? Waiting through a 9.5 minute cutscene to see what your time is.
What kind of things?
About the environment, our ideas, our culture, poetry.
So while we wait for this, just a reminder: we do have 2 more races coming up after this. After this is Apache Smash versus Mac McD, a repeat of the exhibition match that they had last week. And then after that is D-Limes 13 versus Joseph Joestar. I believe the top 2 players in the league right now, so look forward to that.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Hey, great race.
Thanks.
How do you feel about that?
I even think it's PB pace. I'm not sure right now I had no timer open, but it could be PB pace.
Yeah, I'm comparing the times from the relay race that you guys had last week and the times that you have right now. It looks like it's a PB for both of you by a decent amount as well.
For me, it could be a decent amount. If I'm not mistaken, last week
I think this should
like
be
58 something.
I think this. Yeah, I think this. You had a 58.25, so this is 105 pace right now for you. Makarov,
it would be
this
nice
is,
because it would be my first 105 ever. I would be
Yeah,
really happy with that one.
and I believe this could be a 103 for Makarov as well.
I don't know. He said his 103 was long dead, so I guess he was running with timer.
I don't know. Makarov usually says he never PPs, and then he ends up PPing.
That's actually true. Yeah, Mac just said in chat, no one on Earth is worse at estimating Mac's ITT than Mac.
Exactly.
Sure, Joe, no 10420. I tried, Joe, okay? I'm not good enough for that yet. I mean, I would be really happy with a 10420, but it won't be for sure. But hey, like, looking back at
how about this? If Makarov does not pull a PB out of this, then I'm gifting 5 subs to the channel. If it's not a PB, I'm that confident.
Okay.
Actually, 5 subs for you and 5 subs for Makarov if neither of you PB, because this does look like PB pace.
I mean, again, I really think I PB'd, so my 5 subs are gone.
I'm just going off the timer from the stream, and it looks like both of you PB'd.
If you want, I can open live split and compare to and okay, my game just my game just lagged out for a second. I'm sorry. It was a bad idea.
I wouldn't touch live split. It's such I have the worst experience with live split.
Let me scroll down. What's the RTA for that?
Yeah, we're gonna subtract 2 seconds from Mayu's time because she opened live split.
Sorry. I mean, my 106 something. This is not my PB on here.
Yeah, if you know what the PB is, don't mention it. Just so.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was like going against RTA and stuff, so I was just looking.
But speaking of PBs, Mayu, I believe you started speedrunning this game in July.
Yeah, I'm not running it for too long.
Yeah, I think they both started in the summer. Makarov, I think, started a bit before Mayu, didn't he?
Yeah, he already ran a bit when I started out, but not that much longer than I do.
Yeah, but speaking of Mayu, your first race in League against me
was a 109.
When I got a PB was a 109.41. And since then, you've got a 108.18, 107.06, a 106.59, a 106.23, and a 106.50. And then PB'd against Makarov with a 106.03. You've basically been going in one direction and one direction only.
Yeah, okay, that's not completely true because for the first week I actually was paired against Spearish and still had to do my match and had a 107 with that one. But apart from this little hiccup against you...
I don't think that technically counted, didn't it?
Yeah, but apart from this little hiccups against you, it was only going into one direction. And this is what I also want to mention. Like from the start to VE League till now, I started off with a 108 before League, and now apparently I'm on a 105 pace.
Very nice.
And this is like what really makes me happy about that. I mean,
on Makarov's side, a 107.02, 106.18, 105.45, 105.34, 106.03, 105.04, and then a 104.34 against you. So it's been pretty much the same story with Makarov.
Yeah.
It's getting faster and faster and faster since the start of League.
I'm gonna have the leaderboards open now, just in case either of you PB, and I can tell you where that pushes you up on the board if this ends up being a PB.
I really think mine is a PB. I was thinking about, hey, maybe I'm gonna play the Scissor 61, but then I was taking a little glance at the RTA timer and was like, wait, this is PP pace. I'm not trolling around now. If I realize, okay, I don't have live split open for that, but if I realize on the RTA timer on stream, okay, PP pace is over, I will play the Scissor 61 anytime, just for the memes. I really hope, especially Joe, appreciated the little meme I put up.
All right, Makarov's time. I did mention if neither of you PB, that's 5 subs for each if you don't PB.
I mean, for me, if you would say that, I would like you to give mine to MGSR because I don't really.
Yeah, it's gonna be to MGSR. Let's see, Makarov's time. Oh, that is so close. It is a PB, but oh, that is so close.
It is a PB.
Wow. Very nice time for Makarov. 104.02.
It's almost a 104.20.
If you just switch the last 2 digits, it is a 104.20.
But yeah, going back to like the league itself. Basically, after week like 6, I told myself, okay, I only have tough matches coming up from here, especially when I saw Makarov growth in this game. And I'm basically having in my head, okay, I will go out of this 0-10. But even if this is in my head, it doesn't like minder my fun I'm having with the league. I'm in league because I want to have fun, and yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm playing my games, I'm having fun. And I have to be honest, before this race today, I was a bit like, man, I don't want to race, I want to do other stuff, because I'm completely into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now. Thanks, Joe, for that. And I was watching some episodes before that happened.
So, Amayu, don't forget to mash. Makarov jumps 3 positions up on the leaderboards now, from 13th to 10th place with that.
That was his initial goal going into I'm No Rookie, if I'm not mistaken. Get in the top 10. GG.
Alright, here's your time, Mayu.
Yeah. On it.
Mayu.
105.42.
Very nice. You didn't just get 105, you smashed it. Very nice time. So
it's my first 105 ever, and I'm so happy.
Yep.
And now the question, because I will definitely submit this to the boards, obviously. Shall I, when I go for IGT, should I just put 2 seconds on there for the lag I had, and just like put it in the description as well? How do you want to do that?
That's something we'll have to consider afterwards. I'm not entirely sure. It's something
okay,
the Lime
says no.
Yeah, it's most likely it's gonna happen.
Okay. I just
because
wanted
we
to add.
wouldn't really know how much to add without live split, but it didn't seem like much anyways.
Yeah, it was just a little lag because I opened live split, so sorry for that. I will never do that again.
No, it's not a big deal.
But it's still a 105 with the lag. We can tell as much.
Yep. All right, so that's race 1 of week 9 over. Makarov with a 104.02 and Mayu with a 105.42.
Yes.
PB for both of them. For the
yeah,
second race
once again, this is twice in 1 week that we race each other in PB. Makarov, we should race each other more.
Yeah, keep racing, and within a few months you'll get sub hour.
Let's go. Makarov, we have a plan now. Okay, but I'm hopping out. Thanks for having me for a bit of talking.
Yep.
And I'm really hyped for the next race, which will be Apache versus MacD. Also a rematch of last week of the exhibition we had. Will be pretty nice. And therefore I'm gone. Bye bye.
Alright then, thanks for that. I'll take us over to a quick intermission and we'll be back with the race really soon. Thanks for watching.